Hey, this is Casey the Game Nerd back at you with another pickups video. In this video I'm going to show you all the cool stuff that I got at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo swap meet event. I went down there with my buddy Reggie. We took my car the previous night, set up the booth, which I shared with John Riggs and Joe. I had one table, so I brought some extras and I brought some reproduction carts for Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance that I was wanting to trade off for other cool items or sell. And that's the whole point of this smaller event in comparison to the bigger, larger Portland Retro Gaming Expo in the October timeframe. So the smaller event happens in January, and it's more for trading. I mean, there are a lot of vendors that are selling stuff, but I noticed that the prices are a little bit cheaper than normal, and trading is abundant. There's lots of trades going on here and there throughout the whole area. Some of the items I want to show you are the things that I had at my booth. For example, I had Pokemon Red version, and this is the full color version. So it's a reproduction cart or hack because it's in full color. Then we got the Pokemon Green version, and this is the translated version of the Japanese only released title. We got Pokemon Ash Gray, which follows the whole animated series of Ash Ketchum. Then we have Magical Chase, which was a Japanese only release for Game Boy Color, but this is the translated version. Then we got Pokemon Pink, which has a female protagonist or hero for Pokemon Pink, as well as the starting Pokemons are like Jigglypuff and I think Ninetales or something like that. So those are some of the items that I had at my booth, and I was trying to trade those off, and I was successful because I did trade off a couple of those carts for these games. Got Spider-Man, Bionicle, and one Street Ball that includes the Professor. We got Tron 2.0 Killer App, which I actually want to try out. I haven't played that game before. Narnia, Bicycle Casino, Avatar Last Airbender, Egg Mania Extreme Madness, and Blowout. Now another set of games I traded for were these three games. So we got two Wii U games and a PC game. So you're probably wondering, why did I get a PC game? And I'll tell you that in a second. I traded a Chibi Robo game for 3DS for these three games. Somebody came with a bag of items. I just picked out three, made a fair deal. He was happy, I was happy. Well, I got the wonderful 101, Scribblenauts Unlimited. So Wonderful 101 is a pretty good game. Scribblenauts Unlimited I haven't played yet, but I might give that a try. Then we got Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now the price of this has gone up for Xbox and PS2, but not a lot of people know that it's also gone up for PC. This is like a $30 game now, so that's already the cost of the Chibi Robo for 3DS that I traded. So I thought I got a pretty good deal for that. Now these four games I got for $10. Well, this one is just the case, so this was $1, and it came with a scratched up Sonic Mega Collection, which I'm going to try to get resurfaced. Then we got Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. The reason why this was $3 was there's no back art, it's just the front. But for $3, that's an excellent deal. And we got Sonic Heroes and Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut, also for $3 each. So that was $10 total. So those are really excellent prices there. I mentioned before that I shared a booth with John Riggs and Joe. Well, made some transactions with John. I traded him Assault Rigs for PS1 for Flappy Bird, and I tried this out and it's hard as hell. I kept dying and dying, so I guess it's just like the iPad version, but I think it's worse because at least with the iPad version I could get a higher score. I also got Hothead Joe, another reproduction cart by Riggs. This game's pretty fun. It's a hack of a Famicom only released title. And then there's Bobble Part 2, and he gave me a bro deal for this, so thanks John, I really appreciate it. A couple Super Nintendo games. I was looking for Super Nintendo games I didn't have, but I was on a budget, so I didn't want to spend too much. Well, I got Super Battle Tank 2, that was $3, and Natsumi Championship Wrestling, this was $5, I believe. So that takes me to, I think, 86 games left for the Super Nintendo set, but I'm missing a lot of the really expensive ones. Oh, I forgot to show you guys this. I also got this from John Riggs' booth. Got 4-in-1 Famicom game. That included Contra. Speaking of Contra, there's this like 24-in-1 Contra game, but I think it's just various levels of Contra or different time intervals when you select another Contra game. And then this is another 4-in-1 game that also includes Contra, but also has Rainbow Island. So those were $1 each. That was really good. Another guy, he sold me these items here. I'll start off with this. This is a PSP. I think it's the first fat generation, but it has this custom case or shell. He said it didn't work. He said there was something wrong with the charger or battery, but when I got home I tried my own charger and it worked. I charged it and it came up. So it plays games fine. I got a good deal for $15. And he had a bunch of broken stuff. This was another broken one. It's a red 3DS, but all that was wrong with it was the battery. So I took the battery out, changed it with my other 3DS battery, and it was working fine. There was an issue with it reading some carts, but I used some Brasso and cleaned the cartridge holder, and it works fine. So I just need to find a battery to replace that, and that's only going to cost $5, and that was $10 for the broken, now fixed 3DS. Now these three games came from the same guy. We got Toe Jam and Earl, Panic on Funkotron, and Earthworm Jim. So these three games were $25, and he knew that Toe Jam and Earl was already a $30 game, but he still hooked it up with these three games. So that's what I'm talking about. When you go to these smaller events, sometimes you just get a really good deal, or you get a hookup. Other things I focused on were PS1 and Sega Saturn, since I'm going for the sets. So let's show the Sega Saturn games. Now with these three games, it puts me to 90 left for the set. We got MechWarrior 2, we got Hyper 3D Pinball, and I got that from my buddy Josh, and Magic Carpet. So all these came from various vendors, including Jesse, which was nice enough to let me and Reggie stay at his house. That saved us from getting like a motel or hotel to stay in. Every time you go out of state for an expo or convention, try to talk to your friends who live in that state, see if they have an extra room or even a floor for you to crash on. That's a really good tip for you guys. So we got In the Hunt. I actually got this from Jesse, and this is kind of like a Metal Slug clone. You guys got to check this out. It's a pretty pricey game when it's complete in box, so I'll just wait till I can find the long box or the CD case later on. We got Star Trek Invasion. Now with all these PS1 games, it takes me down to 240 left out of the 1300 plus PS1 games. R-Types, which is a good shooter or shoot 'em up game. We got Street Fighter EX plus Alpha, Marvel vs. Capcom. I didn't have this. I have it for Dreamcast, but not for PlayStation 1. And I traded a Mario Kart for that. We got Siberia, Treasures of the Deep, Slamscape, Final Doom, and Army Men World War. Now for some long boxes. Got Space Griffin, and this is an interesting one. I'm definitely going to try this. Philosoma. This game's pretty cool because there's various views for this game. There's isometric, overhead, view from the front, view from the back. It just enhances the gameplay. And From my buddy Stilo, 999, another YouTuber, he was there selling stuff. We got Destrega for PS1, that's a 3D fighter. Parappa the Rappa, I really needed that. I've been looking for that for over a year for a good price, and he hooked it up. RC to Go, and this is like a remote control RC racer simulation game. And we got Front Mission 3, and this is just a case and manual for Armored Core. So I traded Duck Dodgers and 20 bucks for all that, so Stilo really hooked it up. He also gave me this for a buck. Zapper. Can never have too many zappers. And lastly, I got this from Stilo's booth. $5 for this Mario and Luigi Partners in Time big box display. So if you guys are ever in the Portland area during the January time frame, make sure to stop by at the Portland Swap Meet. So that's the PRGE Swap Meet event. Thanks for watching.